Right, in the last few has been in the news over near mishaps or near fatal issues related to airlines in its fleet. Now the House of Reps is set to probe the recent air mishaps involving Dana Airline.
All right, we're getting into our next discussion now. The federal government has also ordered a complete audit of operations of the airline. The House resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to specifically probe circumstances that led to the crash landing of a Dana aircraft flying in from Abuja to Port Harcourt in February. Now, the probe will also seek to know why the door to the said aircraft opened while it was landing at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. That's another incident, even before the Port Harcourt incident, when another plane overshot the runway. Now,
key officials of regulatory outfits in the nation's aviation sector, like the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, and the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NEMA, and the Nigerian Accident Investigation Bureau, AIB, are to be summoned to offer or give explanations.
Informed that a few weeks earlier, the same Dana aircraft had its door opened while landing at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Concerned, Mr. Speaker, that the lives and properties of passengers may not be safe as a result of the series of mishaps associated with Dana Airlines. The House resolved to mandate the Committee on Aviation to investigate the circumstances that led to the crash landing and the opening of the aircraft door while it was about landing, and report back to the House within 1 week for further legislation.
All the aircrafts that are being used by Dana, I'm sure they are very old. There is need for NCAA to check the airworthiness certificates of all the aircrafts. If those aircrafts are not fit to fly, I mean, for God's sake, they should ground them.
It's very important for us to direct the Federal Ministry of Aviation and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to review the age of the aircrafts that are operating in Nigerian airspace. Mr. Speaker, we should review it upwards in the sense that any aircraft that have lived up to 28 years or 25 years should be phased out.
The MD-83, MD-84 that Dana is using today, if you look at the report on those equipment, you find out that those equipment were originally owned by an airline in Alaska, in the USA. And what happened to those airlines in Alaska? Those airlines had electrical issues, and they were first off by the original owners. So Dana acquired those assets from them.
Well, revelations upon revelations there in the House of Representatives looking at this issue. All right, we have joining us the Managing Director, AfriJet Airlines, and former Secretary, Airline Operators of Nigeria, Mohammed Tukur. It's good to have you join us right now.
Thank you very much.
All right. Nigerians are quite very concerned, especially knowing that this airline, Dana Air, had a mishap before, and then any kind of thing that happens with the airline, Nigerians become a little more jittery than any other one that has not recorded any crash in the past. Yeah. Now, from the inside, what is the nature of, or what are the concerns within the inside of operation of aviation that Nigerians should be wary of?
Well, thank you very much. It's a very unfortunate that this overshooting of the runway happened. Let me start by saying that some of the people who are already outside, like the member of the House of Reps and so on, they are outside. I mean, they don't know what is really the situation on the ground. The truth of the matter is there is a body which Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority normally oversight, who is like a policy. I mean, police who are normally check all the airlines. Yeah. Dana Air is a sub-airline. Of course, there is an accident which claim a lot of life, and everybody know what has happened, the report and everything, human error, and that's always what's happened. And something happened. I'm not going to make a kind of depending, you know, when it has come to the open of the door of the aircraft, definitely something is wrong. Because what I mean, something is wrong, if somebody must have opened that door, because when aircraft is on and so on and so, airborne is already, you know, pressure. It's just like the car you are using now this day. The moment you start the car, you put the key. I mean, you put the door locked, and that's exactly what's happened.
So it's not possible for the door of an aircraft to fall off?
Yeah, and secondly, the DG NCAA was in the air. He's already in the airport when that incident happened, and he was there when they inspected. And at the end of the mistake, I think they did by, you know, after checking, and they realized what's happened, because he is a captain too, and the professionals are there, and releasing the aircraft within a short period of time. Because you have to look at the mentality of Nigerians. Maybe you need to delay to say, okay, we're going to investigate, and maybe the next day you release the aircraft to fly. But the aviation industry has gone beyond what anybody is thinking. Before, if you have this kind of problem, I have the same problem when I'm in Chenchengi, and the aircraft, I mean, the airline was suspended until after investigation and so on and so forth.
But when this incident happened, let me just butt in here, within such a short time, 2 incidents, are you saying that it's really no cause for alarm?
No.
I mean, the NCA, no, it's actually the AIB that actually, you know, is carrying out investigations right now. And according to them, the air traffic control, which is an arm of NEMA, had cleared the pilot to land. That is in the case of the Port Harcourt incident, where the aircraft, you know, after taxiing, went into the, you know, overshot the runway. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you, from my own observation, what exactly happened for any aviator like us. I believe there's rain, heavy rain. Everybody knows Port Harcourt route. It's a very difficult route when it has come to weather situation. So he arrived, there is rain. Whether ILS is working or not, do you understand? Then he came in, definitely he must have come a little bit higher. Because when you look at where that aircraft, after overshooting the runway and where he stopped, definitely he must be coming higher. And it's a very big aircraft. MD-83 is long aircraft. It's not something that you can bang easily to go and land it. Do you understand? So maybe landing at the half runway or at the middle. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is the runway is wet because there is a rain. So what's happened? Did he make a hard landing? If he make a hard landing, definitely the aircraft will stop. If you didn't make a hard landing, like that kind of landing, you come very smooth, the one that everybody will climb for you after terrible weather and so on and so. So definitely there is a possibility of overshoot the runway.
Well, these 2 developments have actually raised the question of the state of Nigeria's aviation sector. You have said things are no longer the way they used to be. As in, have they changed really for the better right now? Is that what, what you're saying? In what ways, really? Can like we say that there have been improvements?
Like now, look at what is happening. If it is before, as I said, you hear the minister just come and say, oh, your license has been suspended until this. But what they need to do, that's the proper way to handle it. You allow the airline to operate. You send your people to investigate, because there is a preliminary investigation on that particular issue. And everybody, every aviator knows exactly what has happened. But Accident Investigation Bureau have to go and investigate the reality. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When this incident happened, we thought it's one pilot. My mind just go into a particular pilot, but unfortunately, he's not the one.
Why was that?
Well, the reason is maybe since you know most of your people. What I'm trying to say here, this guy may be the pilot. Normally, every day you just come with all the equipment working. Do you understand? Then you just sit down, use the, do you understand, ILS and everything, you come and land. Maybe you come and ILS is not working.
No, you need to make us understand this. Are you saying that this particular pilot should not be flying?
No, he's a professional.
Okay.
I say I'm thinking it's another pilot. You know, we know ourselves.
Okay.
We know our pilot. You know, we know those who are capable. When you are having people in the cockpit, you must have people who know what they are doing. You don't bring somebody.
Is it also possible that there are pilots that are not capable within the industry?
Well, let me tell you what is happening. For Dana, I can bow on Dana. You know, they are professionals in the field, and we know what they have on ground. I hope you understand. And I remember very well after the accident, even in their cockpit, you find there is another instructor. After the two pilots, another instructor sitting down in the cockpit in order to make sure everything is okay. That's what they are running long before. I hope you understand. But the truth of the matter, in this case, I don't want to go beyond because there's an investigation and they wanted to investigate to come out with it. But the truth of the matter, definitely, the pilot has come into that runway at a little high. And unfortunately, he tried to land that aircraft smoothly. Well, what I expect him to do to bang that aircraft to do a hard landing so that because of the rain, the tire can hit the runway and the aircraft believe that I have stopped flying. Because it's not 737 like a Arik and other airline. You understand what I'm saying? So accident can happen. Incident can happen. Look at the Arik aircraft. It's the latest aircraft in this world. What's happened? Fire.
At the end of the day, at times like this, when there's an emergency situation, is the discretion left to the pilot, or is there some kind of input from the control tower guiding him on exactly what to do?
Cannot do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because the moment that he have an approach and I'll talk to tower, they handing over him to the tower, and the tower, they are the one to clear him to land. If they know that the runway is flooded, all what they need to do to ask him not to land. But they have asked him to land, and they have no option than to go and land. As far as he can see the runway, it's left for him. By the time that it's clear him to land, either he decided to say, no, I'm not landing, because he don't know what is happening on ground. So the tower have to inform him. So, but unfortunately, he has been cleared to land, and he landed. So for the process of landing, what I think is the fault of the pilot is simple, that at the time that you come a little bit higher, and you know that you can see that you cannot land at the threshold, I mean very close to the threshold as according to the rule and regulation, or what you need to do to turn around. That's why there is a need for you to take enough fuel. And the company have to have a policy. Whether when you come you cannot land, you can turn around again to land. You must take enough fuel. So if you cannot land at the second landing, then you have to go back to the destination where you're supposed to land.
Which means the decision still, at the end of the day, the decision is still his own.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter, is he aware that the runway is
wet,
and secondly, when he finds himself that he's a little bit higher, what he needs to do to avoid that?
Okay, and turn back. Yeah. Let me now quickly put this in. We hear that there's some auditing that is going on right now. How far-reaching is that auditing, or should that auditing be? And should it be limited, especially at this time now? Should it be limited to Dana Airlines alone, or should all the airlines be audited? Because that's what one of the House of Reps members recommended. What do we expect in this audit?
Frankly speaking, the investigation or trying to audit the airline, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority have to stand up and look at our pilot. Because most of our pilots are aging, they are retired. So now you are having young people into the industry, and we fly. Maybe for me, I fly more than 2 times a week. Do you understand? And we are seeing so many things. Sometimes we question what's happening, sometimes we ask questions. We come back to the office, we discuss about it. I think there is a need to look at all the book, all the training and retraining, the salary structures, and the other thing that make life easy for most of these operators. There is a need for operators themselves to check what they are doing. It's happened that I fly to one of the city, I will not mention the name, and I met a chief executive talking on the phone, informing an oil marketer how many liters they're going to give that his aircraft. I was shocked, because I know when I operated, my chairman, he will tell you the decision is for the pilot. He is going to say, I need 3 hours fuel. In case if he couldn't land, he can go anywhere from here to Ghana. In case if the weather is bad, because there is no parking space outside. So anyway, there is a limit that you can take, but you can go extra mile. So I think the operator have to check what they are doing, especially when it has come to the training and retraining of the pilot. If a pilot always come with tireless and so on and so, sometimes pilot need to be trained like, okay, disengaging. Do it manual sometime, because equipment can fail. It's just like what's happened in Port Harcourt. He must have come and the equipment has failed. And he come because he believe all the equipment is working. And the aircraft will take you there, of course. I hope you understand.
Yes.
But if the equipment is not working by the time you come, and you have to do it manually, and if you have not been trained very well on that manual thing, how do you land an aircraft? I think that's the area that we need to look at.
We heard some members of House of Reps earlier in the report we played talking about the age of aircraft. Does this matter? How old an aircraft is?
Frankly speaking, doesn't matter.
Okay.
The matter is simple. It has to do with the operator themselves. If you take an aircraft feature 1, 2, 3, it costs you more. I hope you understand. It costs you more. So the issue of whether the aircraft are all or they are not operating, those aircraft, I personally, we have an aircraft with Dana, which the name of that aircraft is BIK. It's the last aircraft produced by McDonnell. And we bought it in the United States of America from United States of American government. It's 5 years old. That's the last aircraft produced by that company. It's a glass cockpit like any other aircraft. AMCOM collect that aircraft and hand over it to Dana. I hope you understand. I know, I know what has happened. So I know the kind of aircraft they have, but I'm not talking about the other aircraft that they brought, like the one for Soluso, the type. I'm talking about the one that I know. So those aircraft, they are good. We bought it 5 years. 5 years old aircraft, glass cockpit and everything, and Dana is operating it.
But how important to, okay, you say the age of the aircraft really does not matter.
Well,
does it matter the experience of the pilot? In this case, in the Dana case, we hear that the pilot, this particular pilot whose license has been suspended or seized, I don't know which one it is right now. It's been suspended. His license has been suspended.
Of course.
And he has a 30-year experience, and according to reports, he's one of the best pilots around.
Let me tell you.
So what went wrong?
Let me tell you what's happened. A pilot is the one who will tell himself that aircraft is not going to kill me. That's the truth. That's why I said, you come in, you are higher, and you have noticed that you cannot avoid the landing. It's your decision. Aircraft is a paper. Any pilot who want to crash an aircraft or who decide that aircraft will kill him, you go and make a mistake. If you don't want to die in the aircraft, you are the one to say, I'm not going to die. You have enough fuel. Turn back. Go back to Lagos. Go and land where there is no...
Well, that depends too on the regularity of the sea checks, you know,
in this particular incident,
checks that you talk about. How regularly should aircrafts go for?
Nigerian Civil Aviation
checks?
Authority will never even give you a waiver like before. That's why I say we have gone beyond what people are thinking. Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, when you have your aircraft and it's due for check 2 months before, normally when you bring an aircraft, you're supposed to go for sea check, maybe 12 calendar. 1 year, for example.
Okay.
In 8 months, you must take that aircraft out of this country. And that's what they do. And Dana is following all this. That's why you heard them, they are saying that they are ready. I hope you understand. Because this accident has nothing. If you look at what's happened in other countries, you see there is a lot of crash. And I say it 2 weeks ago. I came in and I'm telling one of the director in CA, we are talking, I said, I'm not going back to anywhere this week. He said, why? And I said, if care is not taken, somebody will crash an aircraft in this country.
What did you see?
Well, what I see some kind of, you know, it's just like what I tell you, some young fellow that will fly with one of the best aircraft, and I saw the way they behave. And the next flight that I did, and I saw the way that guy fly. I'm one of the former senior special advisor on aviation to Mr. President, and I look at him, we had only 2 in business class. And I look at him and I say, this guy cannot land this aircraft. But what's happened? He just shake her because he's a pilot. He just look at me and he say, no, 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 forget about that. When we come, exactly what I'm talking, that's what's happened. So we have to.
So from what you're saying now, it seems that there's high level of incompetence.
I have even said it in one of the interviews that the director of flight operation, please, they should try to check. I have to sit down with the chief pilot of that airline 1-on-1, and we discuss. And thank God, he have taken a lot of advice, and I fly with him day before yesterday, and I see what they have put in
All right.
place.
Now, the House of Rep is looking into this. The presidency is saying we want audits and so on. What scenarios can play out at the end of these investigations?
Well, everybody will put in what they will check the book. It's just like what I told you. Aircraft is a book. You know, if you follow the book, you are safe. Do you understand? But you fly the machine. So sometimes you have to use your discretion, just like what I said. If you come the aircraft is not okay, then don't fly. You just ground it. I'm not going to fly this aircraft. If there is anything wrong, anything that is not right, because if you follow the book, I can assure you, whether if there is an accident, nobody is going to hold you responsible.
And the pilot has the powers to say, I would not fly this aircraft.
Of course. You are the one you are the captain. The life of the people is in your hands, and you don't know who you are going to meet in the ground. That is a law.
That's
if
very
any
interesting.
chief executive try to say that you must do or you're supposed to fly this aircraft, but the aircraft is not supposed to, then he commit a serious crime.
Let me take you up on what you said about these young pilots. When you say young, exactly what do you mean? How young is young? And what's the age limit, really, if any? Yes.
If you have qualified to fly, you fly.
Okay, even at the age of 10?
Of course.
So what do you consider as young that will affect the...
what I mean,
yes, the response and you know
what I mean, a pilot that's sitting down with his co-pilot and they are inside the flight, they are flying, they are talking about their girlfriends.
No.
Instead of them to concentrate on the flight.
Okay.
And that comes with youth.
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. If you sit down in the cockpit, when we are in Chencheng, I remember what we do. We combine the pilot. We took a white man and we took a black man. We mix them. There is nothing like a talking. Do you understand? So you have to be very careful to look at.
So it boils down to discipline and attitude and all of that.
Yeah, because you see somebody with a very sophisticated aircraft, that aircraft can, because now you have an aircraft that you landed, he will tell you, I'm not going to fast link 6. Do you understand? We have all these aircraft. That's why I say the aviation in this country, we are even very lucky to have people, for example, who know what they are doing. Like the current minister, yes, is a politician, but he knows very well about aviation. And that's why you see it the way it is. Other countries are crashing aircraft here and there.
One happened in Nepal.
I hope you understand. So we were even lucky. So, but what I want to say here is, our operator, the moment they start seeing this happening in other areas, you quickly go back and start checking, put pressure and try to, you yourself, it's your business, it's your investment. So try and see things. Or a passenger, if you enter an aircraft and you see that the captain, the owner of the airline cannot repair an ordinary, chair. Avoid it, because the truth of the matter, he might be able not to do the right thing.
Is that the practice? Do airlines in Nigeria still cut corners in spite of the experiences that we've had?
Not now.
Not too long ago.
What I'm saying...
Okay, that has changed.
Yeah, that has changed.
Okay, now, this Dana Airlines, we heard that it was actually audited in 2013. This is 2018. Is this still, that audit of 2013, does it still subsist? Would it still predict?
It's still valid.
Yeah, is it still valid?
It's still valid.
Okay.
Because the Nigeria, what I'm trying to say, you can't go and do something different from what you have been given to do. You have inspector, you have auditors. From financial, whether you are doing well or you are not doing well in terms of cash. Do you understand? Yeah. And you have to take your aircraft for C-check and so on and so on. And NCA have to be sure that everything is going according to plan. And this C-check is there, is written. They have the file. They have everything about you. They know when this aircraft is supposed to go. I hope you understand. And they are monitoring everything. But if the oversight that the NCA are not doing what they're supposed to do, that's another issue. But which I believe they are doing all this. I hope you understand all this oversight check, but they need to increase. Now it has happened. We have seen what has happened. We thank God that there is no casualty. Yeah. Nothing, and they handle it very well. I will commend the pilot himself for not, making it in the situation whereby the aircraft, destroy completely and the passenger get injured and so on and so. I hope you understand. We thank God for that.
All right, we have so many countries comparative to Nigeria that may be referred to as smaller countries by every means, Rwanda, Kenya, Ethiopia, and so on. They have their national carriers. I'm coming back to the same national carrier issue. The president has said they were looking into the possibility of Nigeria coming up with having a national carrier. We brought some unions here, union members here who were members of the defunct Nigeria Airways, and they said no, they will not allow it to fly because Nigeria Airways is still owing them, and all of that has to be cleared before a national carrier is decided and a new one is born. What's the situation like right now?
Well, for me, frankly speaking, they liquidated Nigerian Airways, and now there are some people supposed to be paid, and whatever they are going to bring in now, at the issue of national carrier, the moment that airline is going to carry as a Nigerian national carrier, so I think they are going to have a problem not only in Nigeria, it's going to be a problem even outside the country.
Why is that?
Because of the depth of Nigerian Airways all over the world. I hope
so they're owing not only Nigeria.
But isn't it coming as a brand new company? Because there's a liquidation which by law has taken care. In fact, Nigeria will cease it to exist.
As far as it's going to be a Nigerian national carrier,
it's going to inherit.
If it's going to be a fly carrier or allowing a business, other people, to come in, government should not put much money on this. Maybe government, what they need to do to come and putting in some kind of 10% or 5%. Do you understand? But not to take control of the whole thing. If you go to Ethiopia, you find out that it's not the government of Ethiopia.
Yes.
But what they did, they have what they call institution. Like here, for example, you rise from the ordinary staff down to the level of manager and be a pilot, be this. That's how they run Ethiopian airline. I hope you understand. It's not like us. And they are going into other business, oil and so on and so on. I hope you understand.
What's the biggest challenge that the Nigerian airline industry is facing today?
Well,
in general?
Most of the challenges is simple. That has to do with some charges that they are always arguing. But we too, as an operator,
what kind of charges? Charges from where?
Taxes.
Who's charging? Okay.
Most of the taxes.
Yes.
Like now, you can see that Nigerian airline operator pay VAT. Railway doesn't pay VAT. Motor doesn't pay VAT. And
as a value-added tax.
Yeah, even shipping, they are not paying, but airline pay VAT for every ticket that they sell. And the 5% passenger service, and so on and so. But we too, as an operator, some of our, most of our members, they are contributor of the whole problem. Because at the beginning, we had want to collect the money on behalf of Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. So if I'm collecting money on your behalf, I'm supposed to pay it back because it's not mine. So they gather this money, some of them, they will remove the money, go for another business. I hope you understand. So I think that's the cost of most of
What is it costing Nigeria to carry out these sea checks outside of the country? Is there a possibility that Nigeria can actually have, is it the hangar?
That's the sea check hangar.
Yes, where you can actually do the sea checks in the country instead of taking the aircraft out.
Yes, there is a possibility to do that because if you look at like, take for example, you have a landing gear problem, you cannot handle it here. Maybe I remember when Mass Air or Cabo or those who have big aircraft, something that you spend $30,000 here. And you have to take it out to Indonesia, maybe you spend over $300,000. Wow. Do you understand? So all these things, if people who are having the money or getting partner and come in and they invest on this area is going to be so wonderful. But the beauty of it now, Aero has already get that certification in Nigeria. And the most of these aircraft, 737 and so on and so, they can do sea check in Aero in Nigeria. So that's the beauty. That's why I say we have moved forward, from whatever anybody is thinking. Now, it's left for our people to look at their own and say, okay, let me, because they don't start with their own aircraft, which is so wonderful. So there is a need, for operator to come in together and patronize that. It will reduce the cost. Instead of you spending all this dollar, you can do it with air.
All right, aviation fuel used to be one of the challenges sometimes. Is that flowing properly adequately the way it's supposed to be now?
Yes, it is all the time. It's just like the petroleum here. You can see that I have been discussing with somebody. He said if you have one trailer of petroleum, you cannot sell it within a few days. It will take you a long time before you sell. So thank God to that. We hope that we're not going back to
the days of queuing at the filling stations. What would be the most important component for the airline industry to be at par? If not the Delta Airlines of this world, Ethiopia Airlines, they have won the best airline of the year consistently over time. Rwanda Air is doing very well. South Africa Airlines,
Kenyan,
you know, and as many that you want to mention in Africa. What is the most important component? Because I'm thinking, would it be the pilot? Would it be the quality of training for the pilot? Would it be the quality of aircraft? Would it be the age?
Well, you see, it's just like what I say. I'm just going back to what I am saying. When it has come to an aircraft, the aircraft we have is safe. I hope you understand. But has to do with who operates the aircraft. I hope you understand. And the pilots are trained. Their license has been checked and released. But what the operator did to monitor, what the NCA did to monitor how those people fly. It's just like the incident that happened when I'm in the aircraft, then I reported to the chief pilot of the aircraft. Do you understand? Instead of you going to NCAA and say, hey, guys, this is what I see. It's just like I'm shooting somebody, reporting him directly. Do you understand? It's better for me to talk to the owner, one-on-one, and the people who are in charge for the safety to say, okay, try and check what is going on here. And they did, and it's okay. So now, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, since this incident happened, then there is a need for them to come in. If government say we are going to prove Dana, so fine. You want to audit Dana, then go and audit Dana. Then don't leave Dana alone. Go and audit everybody.
Exactly.
Prevention is better than cure.
Always,
Thank you so much, Mohammed Tukur, Managing Director, AfriJet Airlines and former Secretary, Airline Operators of Nigeria. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really
all right, thanks for staying with us. So we expect you to stick around because after this break, we'll be looking at the reps versus Fire. That's the Minister for Mines and Steel Development. Stay with us.